So Georgetown has three Episcopal churches. In the West Village, there's St. John's. In the East Village, you have Christ Church. And where I am now is Grace Church. Now, in the 1840s, St. John put a mission down here in order to outreach to this community that was down here. And actually, it was a frame building right here where this World War I cross is. And by all accounts in the newspapers, the clergy and the church spent a lot of time doing good in the community, lots of outreach when they weren't preaching. So then about 15 years later, around 1865, Henry Cook, who lived up on Q Street, actually became governor of the District of Columbia. He donated the money to do a lot of work at St. John's. And he also donated the money to build this wonderful church behind us. I think it's so fascinating. Building materials, it's bluestone and redstone, which came right down the canal, right over there from Timothy O'Neill's quarry. It looks a lot like the Renwick Chapel up at Oak Hill. That was designed about 15 years before this was built. So who knows? Another really neat thing about this area is that it was once owned by Robert Peter. This lot was part of the original Georgetown layout, lot 69. Robert Peter, was a pal of George Washington, and his son would actually marry Martha Washington's granddaughter and end up living at Tudor Place. That this area where the church was ultimately built was the site of Souter's Tavern, which is this original tavern in Georgetown where George Washington was known to have come and hung out with L'Enfant. It's a hard place to pin down exactly where it is, so it's neat to think it could have been here. So in closing, I want to mention that this is also where the Georgetown Ministry Center, which helps the chronically homeless and has since 1987. And I think it's worth thinking about that as much as Georgetown has changed over the years, that Grace's basic mission of outreach hasn't changed in 180 years.